Fine Music Breakfast with Annabelle Drumm.
And it's 6 minutes past 8 o'clock here at Fine Music Breakfast. I'm Annabelle Drumm. Hope you're enjoying your morning. Just looking at the weather at the moment, it's 13 degrees in Sydney. We're looking for a high of 18 and 14 degrees in Penrith, looking up for a high of 17. It's going to be a lovely sunny day, but very windy. So be prepared to be shoved along the road. Should be fun. Now, in the studio today, I have a lovely interviewee. We're here to talk about Joan Carden's award. Now, Joan Carden was an exceptional Australian soprano, gracing the stages of some of the greatest opera houses in Europe and America from the 80s through to when she retired in 2003. Still alive and kicking, she's very graciously given her name and patronage to the Joan Carden Award, offered by the Sydney University Graduate Choir for the past 14 years. And a performance of the finalists is this weekend. And here to talk about the award is the former president of the choir, Marilyn Gosling. Welcome along, Marilyn.
Thank you. It's glad to be here.
It's lovely to have you too. Now, you're a singer as well, aren't you?
I am, but not of that ilk.
There's not many people who can sing quite like Joan Carden. And,
Quite.
And you've done choirs and things, but I hear that you have your own ensemble as well.
Yes. This is a more recent thing for about the last 10 years. Just three of us, piano, clarinet, and
you?
And me.
Moi?
And moi as the soprano, yes. And we perform in retirement villages and aged care institutions, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to indulge one's passion, making music, and to see the obvious pleasure that you give to other people.
It is wonderful, isn't it? When you go to the elderly homes and they've probably been sitting there in relative quietness and peace most of the time, so to have a visitor who can bring live music is wonderful for the brain as well.
Well, exactly. We all know about how important music is right through life, and people say that it's the last thing that goes. So it's just we consider it a great privilege to be able to bring that to people.
Now, you've been with a number of choirs over the years.
Yes.
And what took you to the Sydney University Graduate Choir?
Well, I'd been living overseas for some time, and then I came back here and I knew about this choir. I had sung with the Philharmonia prior to that, and I thought that's the place for me at this time.
Why, though? What drew you to it?
Well, I knew Sydney, being a graduate of Sydney University, although that is not a requirement of the choir. The name is historical, and but now anyone can join the choir through a
audition process,
an audition,
I guess?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But so I knew about it, and I knew the repertoire was exactly the main classical works, choral works, and I thought that's for me.
That's for you.
At this time, yes.
Right, and you've been enjoying it for quite a long time now, haven't you?
Well, yes, I guess so. Time flies, but
when you're having fun.
Exactly. And we're fortunate in that every rehearsal with Christopher Bowen, our director, is like a singing lesson for everyone, although many of the people in the choir have trained voices, but it's just a great pleasure.
I interviewed Christopher, I think it was back in May this year.
Yes.
And it was just lovely to see his passion for the music and be able to expand the repertoire as well. So you sometimes have modern works as well as the classical ones.
Yes, we do, and we have commissioned works. And Christopher himself is a composer also. And
do you get to sing his music? We
have sung his music, most recently last year, in conjunction with the centenary of the armistice of World War I, and he had written a war requiem, which was really a most amazing piece, and to great acclaim. We sang that for the second. We actually premiered it at the centenary of the outbreak of World War I in 2014, and again on the day of the armistice. That's a wonderful, very moving work. The audience is all in tears.
Oh, to move the audience, that's always the key, isn't it?
Indeed.
So is it mostly that you're, like, I know that when we're doing arts calendar, we're often doing the Sydney University Graduate Choir in the Great Hall. Do they perform other places as well?
We do. In the Sydney Town Hall, we do usually one performance a year. And for that, we invite choristers from other choirs to join us.
Padded out, because it's quite a big space, isn't it?
It's a big space, and we do works usually that require a largish orchestra, and so those works are really a bit big for the Great Hall, wonderful though that is. And in fact, this year, in November, we will perform the wonderful Brahms Requiem. In fact, we're still open for people, and I'm sure there are people in your audience who would love to sing that amazing work, and they can join us.
So they can get in touch through the website, I guess, for
the
that one.
website, yes,
Lovely.
just Sydney University Graduate Choir.com.au.
It's also very rare for a choir to have their own orchestra as well. Is it the Graduate Choir Orchestra, or is it a separate orchestra?
No, it's as most in many cases, apart from the main orchestras, it's a scratch orchestra. So individual musicians are brought together, but we've been fortunate where we sit down and we see, oh yes, all these people are the same people we've had for years. So they like playing with Christopher, and we like working with them. So we all know each other. We're very fortunate with that.
Very fortunate. Yeah, that's great.
It's great, yes.
Now, Joan Carden, this magnificent singer, how did she get involved with the choir?
I think that was a connection between Christopher Bowen and Joan Carden. Of course, he knows many.
He knows
He's
everybody.
Worked with. Exactly. It's a small world out there, the musical world. But I think they both share a great love of imparting their experience and their expertise, of course, to young people coming on. I think they're just inveterate teachers. They can't help themselves.
Can't help it.
But so, of course, her name is such a great draw card. And she also lends her expertise as a judge for the award. For the finals, there is a third judge, and the last couple of years is the great Australian baritone, Geoffrey Chard.
Oh, okay.
So and Joan
and Christopher Bowen. So
and
that's
Christopher
your third.
Bowen,
So
that's
that makes
the third.
three.
Yes.
So how often? It's every 2 years.
Every
isn't
2
it,
years.
This competition.
Now, yes.
See, I'm just wondering. These competitions are becoming more rare, and they're so important because you've got the development of a singer that gives them great experience, but it's not just that. It's when they want to go overseas that they need to basically have the things like this listed on their resume, because over in Europe or in America, that's a standard thing. Well, what competitions have you won, or have you been the finals in? That's what makes a difference to their credibility as to whether they'll get the next step. Or even the foot in the door.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the experience of working with an orchestra is important because...
Very precious.
So often on the way up, people just have a piano accompaniment. And of course, it's a very expensive operation for people who are providing prize money to employ an orchestra. So that's a great experience.
It's a partnership made in heaven, isn't it?
It
really
is.
To have that orchestra there already.
It really is.
And also the choir. So but the choir doesn't sing during the competition.
No, they're two separate parts, and the finals are now with an audience, the orchestra and the audience. So the first half of the performance is the three finalists, each singing 2 arias, one of which has to be by Mozart. Well,
where did that come from?
You can't hide in Mozart.
I see. Okay.
That's in Mozart. It's a very easy way to see where the technique is. and to judge technique from that, and the artistry, which is very important. And certainly Joan Carden is very particular about artistry, because that's where the real communication comes from. And
this is what gives people the leading edge, doesn't it? Because
exactly.
you can get the most magnificent teachers who are maybe academic or coaches who've been doing it for many years, and they can give you all the technique in the world. But until you've got the stagecraft and the artistry from somebody who's really done it, you don't have it all, do you? You've got to have that added in.
Exactly. And it's such a competitive world out there for young singers that having that artistry and just a presence, but it comes in the voice then, the feeling, and that's what's communicated. And but yes, Mozart is... you just can't hide anything.
It's like ripping your shirt open, isn't it?
Exactly.
Really? So
yes.
Now we've got a little sample of one of your winners, isn't it? Not just the finalist, but one of the winners from the past.
Yes, indeed. And she, as have a number of the others, gone on to do their further study overseas. She's now back in Australia. And in fact, she was on stage last night in the opera.
Which opera was she on?
Andreas Chenier last night with the great Jonas Kaufmann. It was wonderful.
But she's the winner, and this was from 2015?
Yes, 2015. And I chose this one because it's a beautiful aria, but artistry really came forward in her performance. I can remember sitting there during her rehearsal, and she brought tears to my eyes. And I thought, well, I'm glad I heard her in the rehearsal, not her.
Can't have you falling apart in the middle of the concert.
Yes.
That's one. Is this a live recording of her final performance?
Yes.
All right, let's have a listen. So the name of the singer?
Is Ashlyn Timms, and she's singing from Saint-Saëns' opera Samson and Delilah.
This is Ashley Timms. Lots of applause for the winner of the 2015 Joan Carden Award. And that was Ashley Timms. She was performing Amour vient de ma faiblesse from Samson and Delilah by Saint-Saëns, and accompanied by the Sydney University Graduate Orchestra with Christopher Bowen conducting. And in the studio I have with me here Marilyn Gosling, ex-president of the choir, and she's telling us all about the Joan Carden Award. So Marilyn, tell us a little bit about some of the other winners from the competition.
Yes, well, we keep an eye on where they go, having won the competition. And two of the other mezzos who've won are doing extremely well with Opera Australia. One, Agnes Sarkis, who has recently been performing in Madame Butterfly. And also Anna Darsley, who was on stage last night with
Jonas Kaufmann.
Andrea Chenier in a principal role, although she is now doing a lot of the pants roles that mezzos go through in their careers.
Yes, we had her here just a few weeks ago, just when she was doing Annabelle.
Oh, she was wonderful in that, another pants role.
Another pants roll, with a codpiece as well for that one.
True.
Serious pants roll, that one. Yeah.
Yes. And the last winner was a tenor. We don't specialise in mezzos.
Oh, that's good to hear. No prejudice.
Not at all. Joshua Oxley was the 2017 winner. And all of these have gone on to do great things beyond our award. It's interesting that in many cases, the winners of our award also have won the Great Australian Singing Competition Award, which is real money.
But you have money in yours as well, don't you?
Yes, indeed.
So what does the prize involve for the Joan
prize
Carden Award?
is a cash prize of $6,000, but it also brings with it an engagement with the choir in the future, and often many engagements follow. And there's also a People's Choice Award. And I have to say that in the last 3 occasions, the People's Choice Award has gone to one of the other finalists. So it's not as if there is one who's just way out in front. It can be a very, very tight competition.
So this concert coming up on Sunday afternoon is obviously going to be the place to see the future stars of the opera world in Australia.
Exactly. And this year we have 2 sopranos and a baritone.
Okay. So if you want to come along to see the Joan Carden Award, this is the big competition, the big finals with these 3 finalists. It's on Sunday at 3 p.m. The door opens at 2:15, I believe.
Yes.
And it's at the Great Hall of the Sydney University. Tickets are $25 to $50. And you can buy your tickets at the door, or you can book them early if you want to make sure that you don't miss out. And at the website, which was, again?
Sydney University Graduate Choir.com.au.
Right.
And the choir will be performing in the second half of that concert.
And a full orchestra, Christopher Bowen with the baton. It sounds fantastic. There's also a double pass to give away for this concert, so if you're interested in going along, do give us a call at 9439 4777. Say that you're interested in going to see the Joan Carden Award. That draw will be at 9 o'clock in the morning, and receptionist will give the winner a call. And if you miss out, then certainly go along anyway. I think it sounds like it's going to be an amazing concert. Marilyn, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
It's been a great pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.